Now, I was just in the middle of filming some videos for TikTok when I thought, hey, why not do the monthly portfolio update as a video? So here we are, let's look over the portfolio. So unfortunately, we are now into negative returns if we look at the overall performance of the portfolio since its inception way back in November of 2020. At our high, we were over 264% returns. And if we look at our annual returns for 2021, we actually returned over 482%, which is about a 5x on our investment. Actually, it's about a 6x. And of course, I have the calculation for that. But as we continue to invest mainly in Ethereum, as the cryptocurrency market crashed, we are now at slightly negative returns overall. Of course, as I've talked about many times, if we are young and investing into assets for the long term, we have to not be bothered by short-term fluctuations in the market. So yes, we're currently in a bear market for crypto, but has our investment thesis for cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum, changed? No, it hasn't. And in fact, as we've talked about before, the bear markets are often the best times to accumulate for cryptocurrency. I bought the majority of my Ethereum and Bitcoin way back in 2019 and 2020 when they were a lot less than they were today. In fact, my average price for Ethereum is around $500 to $600. And as we can see from the Ethereum we bought in the Broke Student portfolio, our average price is $575. Ethereum is now worth $1,800. So all of the money we invested back then, we have a very good return on. We've over doubled our money. And, Ethereum would have to drop quite a bit more for us to be negative on that investment. Of course, as we continue to invest in it, during the bull market, it's not the case now that we're in a bear market and both the stock market and the cryptocurrency market have crashed. But every bear market is temporary, right? The stock market and the cryptocurrency market have never crashed and then never recovered again. And of course, it doesn't affect our long-term investment thesis for both of these assets, which is why I, in my personal portfolio and in the Broke Student portfolio, I'm going to continue to be investing into cryptocurrency and equities. But I also wanted to talk about something else, which is that, as I have mentioned in the Discord and other videos, I took a significant portion of my portfolio out of cryptocurrency to invest in real estate. Now, I consider real estate, especially in Canada, to be a much less risky investment than stocks and certainly cryptocurrency. Now, the thing is, when determining your portfolio, is you have to keep in mind how close you are to wanting to retire. If you are imminently about to retire, you do not want to have all your investments into cryptocurrency, which could drop 80% in a year, right? And the reason for that is because you can't stomach that drop. If you need to start withdrawing from your portfolio to pay your expenses because you are retired and no longer have income, that's not a good thing, right? You're going to want to have a portion of your portfolio into much less risky assets, which of course are going to give you less returns, but they're not going to drop as much when the market has a downturn. Things like dividend funds, bonds, or real estate. I consider real estate to be a much, much safer investment. For example, my condo that I bought is returning around 4% a year simply through the rental income and the mortgage being paid off. Now, I'm not expecting crazy returns on appreciation of the value of the property like I am for my equities or my cryptocurrency, but I'm also not expecting the value of the property to drop a significant amount. So with this in mind, of course, I didn't, in the Broke Student portfolio, buy REITs to simulate exactly what I'm doing in my personal portfolio, because I'm assuming that a lot of the people following this portfolio are students, very young investors. My goal is to retire when I'm in my early 30s, which is less than 10 years away from me. So since my investing time frame is less, I've started to invest into some less risk on assets. So with that in mind, I have created 2 new portfolios in the Broke Student Advice Discord, which I'm going to be filling out soon. And the thing is, I don't have the time to manage all of these portfolios every month and write up, detailed updates for each of them, as I've been doing for the Broke Student portfolio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have each of these portfolios and I'm going to update them on either a bi-yearly or a yearly timeframe. So the retirement portfolio is going to start with, let's say, $1 million, and we're going to simulate what we should be investing in if we are ready to retire. And we're going to be taking out a certain amount for expenses each year. I'm thinking around $40,000, as that's what I've calculated will be my annual expenses when I'm retired. Then we're going to monitor the performance of that portfolio year over year, like we do with the Broke Student portfolio, and see how that would work out in an example retirement portfolio. I also want to have a balanced portfolio, which is more targeted at people, more towards the middle of their career, not quite retiring yet, but also not just starting out as a student and investing into very risky, high return assets like mainly cryptocurrency and leverage ETFs. Of course, we might still want to have a small amount of our portfolio allocated to those type of assets, but not as nearly as much as we do in the student portfolio. And this will allow me to continue to invest into what I think has the highest risk-adjusted returns in the student portfolio, for example, cryptocurrency and leveraged equities ETFs, while also having some options for people who want more conservative portfolios or, want to see what I'm doing as I'm getting closer to the time where I want to retire and start withdrawing from my portfolios. There it is. That's the July update. For now, we are just going to hold what we have in the Broke Student portfolio. Probably we will be investing into some UPro shares later on in the month. I will let you know in that channel when I do so. And keep an eye on the retirement portfolio and the balanced portfolio channels, because I'm going to be starting those, tracking the returns of those portfolio allocations as we go forward. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next month.